Okay, so supposedly, allegedly, there are some fake Alex Pretti images floating around the internets, I guess. And we're going to react to what's her name, Angela Rose. She's an interesting gal, and we're going to react to some of her stuff. Give me just a moment. Pulling up additional source material here. But yeah, we're reacting to some of the craziness going on. We're gonna pull up some of the clips here in just a second. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna look at the fake Alex Pretti images. We're gonna see what Angela Rose's
The AI Toolkit is live on Artlist. Every leading AI tool you need for video creation is now
She's pretty interesting.
In this video, we will spot the differences between these two pictures and expose Kim's cookies for discriminating against conservatives in Cincinnati. And also, can we confirm that Alex Pretti was indeed in the Signal chats? Because a week before his death, he was tackled by 5 ICE agents and he broke
Minnesota's screwed, dude.
And this
Minnesota's
AI video
absolutely
is taking
screwed
over the internet, lying to people about what happened on that day. Let's first figure out what happened a week before his death.
He stopped his car after observing ICE agents chasing what he described as a family on foot and began shouting and blowing his whistle. Pretti later told one of these sources that 5 agents tackled him and 1 leaned on his back, appearing to leave him with a broken rib. According to this source, and I'm quoting here, that source said, quote,
so he's basically, it sounds like he's already been doing all this shit previously. It sounds like he's been an agitator this whole time. Now, don't get me wrong. I still don't think he should have been shot. I really don't. But he's been one of the ICE agitators this entire time. You know, and this is and like I said, he did not deserve to get shot. I want to make that very clear. But let's not pretend like this guy is fully innocent, by the way. Let's not pretend like this guy has been fully innocent this entire time. Because I'm starting to wonder. And yeah, I question the media narrative quite a bit. I still believe that Alex Pretti was killed in cold blood. I believe he was murdered in cold blood, absolutely. That opinion has not changed. But I will say, though, he is not the saint that everybody keeps making him out to be. He was an agitator, whether people like to admit it or not, even well before this incident.
that day he thought he was going
allegedly. I want to make sure that's clear. Allegedly.
To die. Now, Pretti was later given medication that is consistent with treating a broken rib, according to records reviewed by CNN. Sources also say that he was known to federal law enforcement, though it's unclear whether it was this incident or another with federal agents that they knew of him. It's also unclear whether the officers who tackled him on Saturday knew who he was.
So this guy apparently feared for his life and decided the best thing to do was to go back out there a week later, even though he had just broken a rib. So
that's crazy. So what's up with this guy, man? Like, what is up with this? Like, I'm sad that he got shot, and I mean that when I say that. I am deeply saddened. But this Alex Pretti guy doesn't sound like he was much of a saint, though. And like I said, he was killed in cold blood. The ICE agent that killed him, or whatever agent killed him, deserves to go to jail. Right? You don't shoot a man in the back. You just don't do it. All right, let's keep going.
MSNBC posted a completely...
Oh, by the way, don't forget to tap the like button as we try to get to the truth of the matter. We're looking into the fake AI images that have been generated about this man, about Mr. Alex Pretti. But yeah, make sure you guys tap the like button. It really helps us on the algorithm. And also tap the subscribe button if you're, if you're pro mega.
fake picture of this guy that is changed in so many ways. They smoothed his skin, they changed the color of his skin, they thickened his hairline, his eyebrows, and his beard.
They're making this guy look... Why are they trying to make the dude look more attractive? What's up with that? I don't understand what they're trying to do here. It's kind of weird. Let's keep watching.
And the craziest part of all is that they gave him a nose job. The guy basically doesn't look the same anymore. So
yeah, that's weird. Who took the time to try to make him look better? Just make him look the way he was. That is the weirdest thing. Whoever's doing this stuff is a freaky person, man.
Why are they lying about a simple fact of how this man looked? They can't even be honest about that. Then we have this place called Kim's Cookies.
Are the Democrats ever honest about anything? Are these woke people ever really honest about anything? Come on now. You know, the wokes are rarely honest about shit.
If you agree with what is going on with ICE, and if you're not appalled, if you're not horrified, so that they can be deported, then I'm not a baker for you. And
you know, if I went into that bakery, I would pretend to be woke at first, and then once I got all the donuts that I wanted to get or whatever, I would sit in the bakery, and then I would take out my MAGA hat, and I'd put my MAGA hat on while I'm eating donuts in their bakery. Kim's Cookies, if Kim's Cookies was near me, I would put my MAGA hat in my coat pocket, and then I would buy a bunch of donuts, and then I would chill out in the bakery with my MAGA hat on and eat donuts in front of them just to piss them off. Because if you're gonna discriminate against me like that, just because I have a different belief system than you, then I'm gonna annoy you by being me with my MAGA hat on.
You can see that they are making...
Don't forget to like the stream. So if you guys can, tap the subscribe button, tap the like button. The reason is, if you guys have Minnesota fatigue, just tap the subscribe button. If you guys are just tired of hearing about Tim Walz on the news because he's an incompetent boob, tap the subscribe button, please.
Cookies with quotes from these people. They are treating them as if they are heroes. These people, in many ways, seem suicidal. These are the leaked chats that potentially led up to Alex Pretti's death. So you have this person, Salicious B. Crumb, who posted, confirmed ICE, black Mazda, mid-size, and he has the license plate, southbound on Garfield at 28th Street, no eyes currently on vehicle. So then we have a miscellaneous hero.
Don't forget to tap the like button, though. It really does help the channel grow. We're trying to get to the bottom of this. We're trying to get to the truth.
Alvin Q, who says, at Friendship Coop, I'm moving west on 38th to spot, will update. Did they receive the update? So here we can see that the Twitter URL of Alex Pretti was Alvin Q, which was from the person that we just saw, who said that they will give an update. And then we have people who...
Hey, guys, don't forget to tap the subscribe button, though. Subscribing really does help the channel grow. We're trying to see how far we can reach, what type of audience we can reach. So don't forget to tap the like button. And if you can, tap the subscribe button if you want Vance 2028. Let's go. Vance 2028.
Are pointing out a map of the area and showing that that is near where the incident occurred. Here you can see 28th and Garfield, and this is where the shooting location was. Then the chat goes on to say that backup is needed and that one observer had been abducted. One activist inside of a donut shop shares a video of the shop owners looking out for ICE. So these could have been the people that warned.
This is so crazy, man. I mean, the paranoia, the level of paranoia on the left is beyond. Like the fact of the matter is, there is zero reason to treat ICE like they're the Gestapo, and this has been a lie that's been spread by your guys' homeboy, your home dog, Tim Walz, the most incompetent governor of all time. It's a lie that's been spread, and I'm tired of it because it's like, dude, yeah. And truth be told, I'm on the side of ICE. Ice, ice, baby. Let's go. I do believe that Alex Pretti was murdered, though. I believe that he was murdered in cold blood. I'm not even disputing that fact. Do you guys have Tim Walz fatigue like I do? Dude, I have Tim Walz fatigue hard. I have very hard Tim Walz fatigue.
Warned them where ICE was. They say that Pretti previously used Alvin Q. Pretti on his X account. Then you have the chat saying agents firing something at observers, possibly firing guns. One observer on the ground possibly shot Nicolette at 26. So this was clearly the area that this group was observing because they knew what was going on. And Alex had a history of stalking ICE agents and impeding their operations like they were doing.
See, that doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't surprise me because I think Alex Pretti believed he was Batman. I really do. I think he had a bit of a Batman Superman complex, and don't we kind of all have that? I think that he had a little bit of a main character syndrome for sure. But did he deserve what happened to him? No. It's very sad what happened to him, and I do believe that he was shot in the back, and I believe he was murdered in cold blood. I believe that. I believe that Alex Pretti was murdered in cold blood, and I still believe that ICE is necessary. ICE still needs to be in Minnesota, and ICE should have non-lethal weapons, only heavy stun weapons, and that's about the extent of it. Actually, I have 0 moderators. Hot Rod 76, I have 0 moderation on this. The only moderators would be the automated chat moderation of YouTube. The only moderators are the automated chat automation for YouTube. I don't moderate this channel. You want to know why? Because I want people to have free speech. Even the people I disagree with, by the way. I want people to freely speak. Yeah, he had a broken rib from previous run-ins with law enforcement. If anything, it sounds like Alex Pretti should have been arrested a long time ago, to be honest. It really sounds like he should have been arrested quite a while ago.
Doing in this chat and putting his own life in danger. So why aren't these left-wing influencers condemning that type of dangerous behavior?
It's because they agree with Alex Pretti, so they're not going to condemn Alex Pretti's terrible behavior. No. They're not. It's because the leftists agree with Alex Pretti. Of course they're not going to condemn it because they agree with him.
Are multiple AI videos and images going around that are completely and purposefully changing the narrative as to what happened? Check out this.
Taxes.
Give me one moment. I'm oh my god. That is so AI generated right there. That is so freaking AI generated.
It is difficult to believe that somebody thinks this is what a gun looks like when
we all
fires.
know it's AI, dude.
That
come on.
Magical rainbow sparkles just come out of it. I mean, this looks so fake, but nowadays, I mean, AI is getting better and better that this could potentially look like a real video. And so people are believing that this man accidentally shot the gun or it went off somehow. And actually, the truth is people are still investigating into that as to whether or not that happened. But the fact that they made a whole AI video to make it seem like they had evidence.
That's so insane. That really is a level of insanity that I'm just like, what the fuck? What is happening? What is happening here? Alex Pretti thought he was basically Batman, though. I'm just going to say that right now. Alex Pretti thought he was Batman, and that's why he was... Because he thinks that ICE is the Joker, and Alex Pretti thought he was the Batman. So he was constantly... It sounds allegedly like he was harassing ICE agents. Now, I still believe that the ICE agent was in the wrong for shooting him in the back, and I do believe the ICE agent or whatever agent shot him. I think that soldier needs to go to jail.
That it did indeed happen is completely ridiculous, and it shows that they will push a narrative no matter what actually happened. In the comments, one person shares a video that I believe is the most realistic version of what happened on that day.
Oh, that's great, man. That's pretty funny. I gotta admit, that's pretty damn funny. But no, I do believe that the ICE agent should go to jail. Absolutely, the agent the agent who shot him should go to jail, in my opinion. But yeah.
Wow. People are also trying to make it seem like Alex Pretti has made it to Times Square. And this is... knowing the left, knowing the crazy left-wing agenda that's happening in New York, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him on Times Square. That wouldn't shock me at all. That really wouldn't shock me at all. Hell no. Actually an AI photo, video as well. And it says, from healthcare hero to target of violence. Do you guys know that Lincoln Riley was also studying to be a nurse? One person is asking, did New York mourn for them as well? This photo right here is one of the most ridiculous photos of all, but I believe it is the one that has been spread around the internet the most because I had seen it even before I realized that it was AI and the fact that this man does not have a head. Okay, this is not even how they looked. He was wearing a hat. This is not even the correct positioning.
Whoa, dude. So this is crazy. They're even making AI oh my God. Anything to spread a narrative, man, on both sides of the aisle. Both Republican and Democrats are trying to spread out. I just want to know the truth, dude. I want to know the truth. I just want to know the truth. And there should be an investigation, by the way. There should be an investigation into this. I think that the officer that shot him, I think that guy should go to jail. It just felt like Alex Pretti was murdered in cold blood. That's what I believe. Seriously, that's the conclusion that I'm drawing. That is the conclusion I have drawn. Period. End of story.
Of the people, an ICE agent did not have the gun pointed like that in this way, and he has his hand where this agent's head should be, but yet a picture like this can be passed around and people will believe it. Look at this Instagram story and guess what mainstream celebrity posted it. She said, "Who? You. The power is in your hands." What? Call your senators. When? Now. We have until Friday to block $10 billion that is going to be funded to ICE. Probably not very surprising that that is Katy Perry. This has to be a joke. There's no way that Katy Perry is dating...
Wait. Katy Perry's dating Justin Trudeau. Go figure. I mean, they're both pretty woke people. I mean, so it kind of makes sense that two woke people like that would potentially get together. Sure.
Justin Trudeau. Please tell me that that is not real. People are making fun of just how ridiculous it is that they're making fake videos and fake photos of Alex, that they're saying this is what actually happened. It's just sad how much they undermine the entire...
It is kind of wild, though. You guys tap the like button if you guys can. Just tap the like button if you're just tired of Minnesota. We're just done with Minnesota. We just kind of want to pretend. Let's sell Minnesota. Let's just sell Minnesota to Canada at this point.
Intelligence of America.
Tap the like button and tap the subscribe button if we should just sell Minnesota to Canada. Let's just sell Minnesota to Canada. Let's just get this transaction underway. Let's just let it happen, man. Let's make the transaction happen, please. Holy shit.
Americans. Here we have a person posting, this is what Alex Pretti looked like.
Oh my God. This is really getting, oh my God, the fake AI shit, dude, it's really getting out of hand. That's how I remember him. Oh my God, this fake AI crap it's pretty funny. I mean, like the things that people are doing with AI and going on message boards on the internet and just posting this AI slop. It's pretty funny if we're gonna be honest. It is actually pretty funny shit.
Like, they just completely change his entire identity. And maybe the reason why they're trying to change his identity is so that he won't be linked back to these Signal chats and that himself and everybody else who is involved won't be found guilty. Because it wasn't him. The guy who got shot is this Chad with these muscular arms.
That is a Giga Chad right there. That is a Giga Chad. Crazy.
They made so many differences to the original photo that they might as well. They should have just gone all the way, you know? People are pointing out that what they do to people like Joe Rogan is darken him. I'm pretty sure they've done this to Trump too, to make it look like they're sickly. They're not.
God, CNN is the queen of fake news. CNN is the queen of fake news. Let's keep going.
Feeling good. They're so pale, almost as if they need to go to the hospital. But this is what the image actually looks like. They're just healthy and happy. But
Wild
yet
stuff,
they do
man.
the opposite type of edit
Wild
with
shit.
Alex Pretti's photo. How come mainstream media cannot be honest? So Cam Higbee posted that Signal Network begins distributing an NBC link.
It's pretty tough. Here's the thing. The mainstream media wants to keep you dumb and afraid. So they're going to make up any story they can to make you dumb and afraid. They're going to augment the story. They're going to augment the video. They're going to do what they can to make it seem worse than it actually is. And when they do that, they're successful in making you stupid and afraid. That was their goal the entire time. And that's it, man. Why do you think I don't watch mainstream media? I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch MSNBC. I think they're all fake. I think that all mainstream media is fake news. Tap subscribe if you guys think all of the mainstream media outlets are basically just fake BS. Let's go.
About Kash Patel
Legacy
launching
media
a
sucks.
federal investigation, as they should. So they posted, FBI is investigating Minnesota Signal groups. Okay, so an anti-social person shared it. Why does this person have the handle of Soul MN State Rep? Okay, that's probably not good. This person says it's not true.
What are we talking about here?
I hope that it is. This
What's
person
going
says
on?
that Cam might as well be on the FBI payroll
Cope
at this
extra.
point. This person says, oh my gosh, this is horrible. How can ICE agents keep shooting protesters? Meanwhile, the ICE agents be like, that.
You didn't start your business to do taxes. Good thing we did.
Yeah, taxes suck ass.
They're a lot crazier than that. I mean, do you know how deranged you have to be, not just to bite somebody, but to actually take off a chunk of their skin? What's most frustrating to me is that Tim Walz lost the 2024 election.
He lost the 2024 election, and I thought when Kamala Harris and Tim Walz lost the election, I thought there's no way in hell we're ever gonna hear from them again. There's no way. Thank God we don't have to deal with them. We don't have to see them on the news anymore. Now I think I see Tim Walz on the news more than ever. I see him on headlines. I see Tim Walz everywhere. I'm just done. I've got Tim Walz fatigue. The more I hear him defend his fraud, the more I hear him defend calling ICE the Gestapo. He's such a moron. Tim Walz is a moron. Moron. He's dumb. He's bad. He needs to resign. I hope that by the way, please subscribe if you think that Tim Walz needs to resign. Please subscribe to this channel. My God, I'm so tired. I'm just tired of hearing about Tim Walz, man. I'm done with it. No more Tim. No more Tampon Tim. We're done with him. Just resign, Tampon Tim. Come on, man.
Could have been vice president. He could have had a very high role in our country, but he doesn't. He is simply a governor. Yet this man is acting as...
No, but I'm just stunned at what's happening. I'm stunned. I really am stunned.
He has control
Let's
over
go.
the country. And it's really sad to see because so you had Donald Trump, they had a call and apparently it was productive. And because of that, I guess the police actually started to help out in protecting that hotel and they arrested some protesters.
Yes, the police actually came in and arrested people. The Minnesota Police Department finally got off their ass and decided that there is no reason for us in hell to keep allowing these rioters to keep doing what they're doing because these people are rioting. These people on the streets of Minnesota keep freaking rioting. They keep destroying things. They're just making things worse. So if you guys are thinking that, if you guys are of the delusional mind that these rioters are doing something good, you're a delusional psychopath. Delusional psychopath. Okay? These ICE agents are trying to do their job, and you as the woke brigade are just making life more difficult for everybody.
But before that, Tim Walz was basically trying to get the National Guard to turn against Donald Trump and basically start a civil war. And then...
But yeah, if you guys love Trump as much as I do, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you guys want Vance 2028, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are pro-ICE. We have Minnesota fatigue for sure, but we are very much so pro-ICE. That's all I got to say. Let's keep going.
You have them pulling Greg Bovino
Boom.
out of Minneapolis, and I guess he's still working for Border Patrol. Now he's in Los Angeles, where, of course, there is a lot of work for him to be had there as well. But it just kind of seems like you're giving them an inch. And when you do that, they take a...
Yeah, you don't want to give these woke people an inch. Exactly. You give them an inch, they take a mile. So if they feel like you're even stepping back a little bit, they're going to come at you 2 to 3 times to 4 times harder. They're going to be more relentless. They're going to be more disturbing. And you know what? These woke people in Minnesota they're going to start vandalizing, unfortunately. I don't want to see that happening, but they're going to start vandalizing. These woke people are insane. They're mental patients. And we know that these woke people are mental patients. It's very obvious. You take one look in their eyes, and you can just tell. You could tell they're woke and deranged. Woke and deranged.
Mile. It's like we allowed them as a country, okay, you guys want to have gay marriage, go for it. But then they wanted to begin this trans stuff, and now they want to be able to transition kids, and now they want to use taxpayer money to transition kids. And also, if your kids want to transition and you tell them no, then you can lose custody for them. And the reason why I believe that taking Bovino out was like giving them an inch was because for weeks these people had been saying ICE out, and Bovino is the head of it. He is basically the spokesperson of it. And people were going up to him, to his face, throwing food at him, telling him to get out, telling him that they are not welcomed here. And so we gave them an inch by removing him. And now they're going to try to take a mile and begin to think maybe it actually is a good idea to bring guns to fight.
Yeah, no, do not give these woke people an inch. Don't give them anything. Removing him from the scene makes things worse. I think they should have kept Bovino. Truthfully, absolutely 100%. They should have kept him going. Because now this is a sign of weakness on Trump's end. And what these woke people do, and these woke people are really good at it, by the way, they will take the mile. You give them even a little bit of leverage, a little bit of an inch, they will take a mile. That is how the mind of the woke work. The wokies are trying to rise. They're trying to rise hard. Oh, yeah. So many wokes.
With ICE agents, or maybe it is a good idea to bite off their fingers, or to...
Oh yeah, I heard about that story. In fact, I saw a picture of the ICE agent's finger, in a jar. These people are vile. These woke people. I'm glad that I'm so glad the Minnesota Police Department are finally arresting these people. They're making a statement, right? If you're going to riot, if you're going to vandalize property, it's no longer a peaceful protest. If you're all still there and you're all still protesting, you're not protesting really. You're rioters. If you're vandalizing, if you're knocking down trash cans, throwing trash everywhere and banging on the trash cans, yeah, I'm sorry. You are a piece of garbage. In fact, if anything, if you're going to dump out the garbage out of the trash cans, you guys, instead of knocking on the trash cans, how about you guys put your trash asses in those trash cans? Instead of banging on the trash cans and blowing your stupid rape whistles, how about you guys just all climb in the trash cans together, because you guys are all piles of garbage. You're all a piece of trash. Fucking. You know what? All these people that suffer from white guilt, by the way, you're the real white trash. You're white trash for suffering from white guilt. Let's go. I can't stand people with white guilt, though. It's so fucking annoying.
Smash them with our vehicles or try to run them over.
No, like legitimately, I can't stand white guilt. If you feel guilty about your race, you're a moron.
Because those are the things that have happened, and they're being rewarded for that. You're only supposed to reward behavior that you want more of. If you're training a dog, you don't give them treats when they poop on the floor.
And I hope all the imagery, by the way, in Minnesota, I hope the world sees what's happening in Minnesota and realizes that these woke people are stupid and that they want nothing to do with the Democrat Party, because this is the Democrat Party in a nutshell. Destroy, take down, destroy. There is no creation. There is no improving anything. There's no upgrading. There's no creation. It is literally, it's become the party of destruction. Kind of already was the party of destruction even way back then when the Democrats invented the KKK, but it's another story. I don't think the party ever changed. I don't think the Democrat Party ever changed. They say the party switch happened, but I doubt that. If anything, the Democrats became more racist, in my opinion. You heard me. And by the way, I'm part Mexican, so I would know. I would know that the Democrats have become more racist over the years. So, yeah, my last name's Garza. I'm part Mexican. Sorry. I'm sorry. I know that you Democrats don't like minorities like me. But deal with it.
That is what it seems like is happening right now. And now more people around the country seem to be more outspoken about how anti-ICE they are.
I'm so sick of these woke people.
Bangladesh migrant and Senator Saddam Salim files legislation banning any law enforcement cooperation with ICE and protecting all ICE agitators. Yes, clearly, I agree, Eric, that this is not a good idea. I'm afraid that what's happening in Minneapolis could begin to happen everywhere else, because to some extent it already has been. We saw the No Kings protesters. We've seen conservatives being beat up. We saw in Los Angeles they were lighting many Waymo vehicles on fire. We see them smashing the windows of federal buildings in Los Angeles. The entire area was covered with graffiti. Look at Portland. How crazy, all the craziness that they were able to get away with. But now they're saying, well, we can get away with more.
What happened in Portland was honestly insane. Some of the crap that's happening in Portland too, whether it's Minnesota, whether it's Portland, man. I mean, these woke people are out of their minds. By the way, tap the like button if you can. If you guys are tired of woke people, if you have woke fatigue, tap the like button. If you guys are tired of Tim Walz, tap the like button. If you guys want JD Vance 2028, tap the like button. Let's go. Let's ride.
More craziness if we were only worse. The thing that makes me the most angry about this is that it looks like we are losing our access to free and it's one thing to try to steal an election by having all of these registered voters to abandon buildings or a porta potty in some cases. And then to counteract that, we had people watching so closely every voting site and also pointing out that the places where voter ID is not required, they usually turn blue, like in Denver, Colorado, and other states. So despite all of the issues with having a proper election and we're having mail-in ballots, which can just be a mess, and apparently you have dead people.
Yeah, mail-in ballots is a mess, and I'll tell you why, because anybody could steal that ballot from your mailbox. You know what I mean? It can happen. But the cool thing is this. I'm kind of neutral when it comes to mail-in voting. It is more convenient, that's for sure. I live in Oregon, though, and I have my doubts that some of the people who count the ballots are doing a... well, I'm not going to go any further than that. I think you guys know where I was going.
People who are voting. But putting all of that aside, and I can't stop thinking about Omar Fetta's brother-in-law, who... Yeah,
unfortunately, the National Guard was handing out donuts to the rioters. Don't call them protesters. I would recommend not giving them the title of protesters, but giving them the title of rioters. I mean, these woke people are absolute rioters, whether they like to admit it or not. They're rioters. They're not protesters. They are rioters. Big frickin' difference. Straight up.
Lied to a grand jury during a ballot fraud investigation. Anyway, so even if the elections were just fair and square, we have a president in office right now, and they are trying to make it so we cannot get the things that we specifically voted for. I went to the rally in Aurora, Colorado. Colorado being a place that a lot of people consider very blue, and yet it was packed. There was probably 100,000 people there. The line was so long. People who had camped out were not able to get in because people were cutting the line. It was just massive, so crowded and packed. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get in that rally. And one of the signs that Donald Trump had was two people who had been convicted of certain crimes, and they were illegal immigrants, and everybody there was on board to have these people deported. Aurora, Colorado was the place where these apartment complexes had been taken over. And whether it's the people who were just living there, going to work there under the table jobs, or it's the people who were going to their doors and forcing them to pay them rent money, people just wanted the entire situation to be done with. Whether you are a part of the Venezuelan train de Aragua or whether you just came here because you want to wash windows in the middle of the street, we're just done. We're fed up. We don't want it anymore. That is what the people voted for. We want our country back and we want our culture back. And yet, these Democrats are creating systems where we cannot have the things that we voted for. It is absolute and total corruption. So then you get people like the Colorado State Senator Julie, who wants to jump on the band.
Oh God, it's another woke person. So Angela Rose is going to be analyzing this woke person, and we'll see what this woke person's about. We'll see what they're doing. Okay, the wokes. If you is woke, it ain't no joke.
Wagon, look at her.
We grieve the death of Alex.
Look at these earrings. Like, girl.
Those earrings are kind of ridiculous.
We grieve the death of Alex Jeffrey Pretti at the hands of ICE agents in Minnesota today.
This is a Karen. This is a white Karen, I guess.
I don't think I'm the only one grappling with the conflicting emotions of grief, rage, and fear as we're witnessing masked ICE patrols gun people down in broad daylight and then label those victims as domestic terrorists. This isn't isolated to just Minneapolis, and it's not new. Those of us who have been organizing for ICE accountability for years have seen this coming. Immigrants, Muslims, trans folks.
Muslims.
Anybody at the margins or canaries in the coal mines for how extremists seek to divide and conquer us. Well, here we are. So where do we go from here? Couple of tips.
Divide and conquer. You guys, honestly, you guys do a pretty good job of dividing and conquering yourselves. The thing is, you Democrats have become so unpopular that nobody wants to be a part of your BS. The Democrats have become so unpopular that nobody wants to be a part of the BS. And to be honest, I can't say I blame anybody who has a fully functioning mind. Let's keep going.
So I want y'all to keep in mind. If you haven't already, sign up and attend a Know Your Rights training.
Oh, boy.
So that you are prepared on how to navigate interactions with ICE.
I'm sure that is a funnel that leads them to become observers.
If you guys can, though, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button. The more subscribers we have, the better. We're trying to reach, we're currently sitting pretty at 7,370 subscribers. Actually, I want to give a big shout out. I'm going to put everybody's name on the screen, or at least everybody I can, who subscribed today, at least. So,
Laugh out loud.
these are the people who subscribed today on the channel. These are some of the people, at least. I can't get all of them up on the screen, but I'm going to show them one by one. So I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the channel big time. It really does help the channel grow. So just the simple act of tapping the subscribe button really means a lot. Let's give it a second. I'll give everybody their flowers real quick.
Laugh out loud.
Thank you, Rick Mays, for subscribing. I appreciate it, Brony. Thank you, my Brony brother.
Laugh out loud.
Thank you, Bootleg Sec. I appreciate it. Sock, I appreciate you.
Laugh out loud.
Thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate that big time, man.
Laugh out loud.
Just got to give a shout out. Got to give everybody their flowers, man. Thank you guys for subscribing. I really appreciate it. It does help the channel grow in a lot of ways.
Laugh out loud.
It means a lot, man. It means a lot.
And to begin working for them and begin actually being on the front lines. This woman, would she actually show up and begin blocking ICE agents herself? Or does she think that her role is to encourage other Coloradans to do the same thing?
Second, plug the Colorado Rapid Response Network into your phone.
Colorado Rapid Response Network.
Laugh out loud.
Call the hotline at 844-86.
Okay, so what this lady is doing is now saying, if you see a raid happening, let's get this rapid response. Oh, we're going to call all of our people and then they can all head out there too. So again, we're seeing this in other states now. It's pretty scary. They just passed a new ordinance codifying their Sanctuary Promise Act. I thought we were getting rid of sanctuary cities. Prohibits ICE from using city property.
Oh, God. Another sanctuary city. Oh, boy. Here we go again, man. Here, it never ends, dude. These sanctuary cities and all the BS, it's just, it never ends. It never frickin' ends, man. Let's keep going.
This is discrimination. We need to be filing discrimination lawsuits on behalf of ICE agents. I believe that they should be considered a protected class after all of these direct targets towards them. Prevents city from holding illegals in custody if they have an ICE. I mean, this is just all ridiculous. Any country is allowed to deport people who have entered that country illegally. So here you can see Bovino in LA.
Very true.
The federal government is not leaving LA. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished, as I said, and better get used to us now because this is going to be normal very soon. The federal government.
How do you guys think the deportations are going? Have they done enough? Would you like to see more? Make sure you are subscribed so I can keep you updated, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
When curiosity strikes.
What sort of Tim Walz crap can we watch? What sort of brain rot can we watch? Let's take a look here. I got Minnesota fatigue right now, man. I got the fatigue. I got the Minnesota fatigue. If you guys can, though, tap the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. It helps us a lot and keeps the channel pumping. Keeps my blood pumping. Let's keep it rolling, man. Yeah, dude. It was the worst brain rot, yeah. Yeah.
Rules, commands, MCP server.
All right, let's see what's going on in this Scripps news. Let's see what's happening
Weekend
here.
and Megan, now that Greg Bovino's
I'm ready.
leaving, Tom Homan is taking control on
Tom Homan. Tom Homan's pretty dope. He's an interesting fella.
the ground. Have you noticed if things have calmed a bit there?
Oh, Holly, 100%. Things have completely changed, I would say. It started to get a little bit more peaceful as we went through Sunday and Monday. Yesterday was a big change. I was out here Monday evening, and this comes after all of the news of Bovino and maybe some agents would be leaving. That's what AP's reporting. And a literal band started playing in the streets, and I could just feel this uplift of these protesters and demonstrators that have been out here for weeks, and then especially in the last few days after the shooting of Alex Pretti. I just felt this uplifting spirit of these people that have been feeling pretty knocked down. We've been talking.
What is happening? Are they all bringing their trumpets? Oh, they're just trying to be loud and annoying outside of the hotel. That makes sense. These people suck. A lot of these rioters, they suck. They're rioting, man. Whether you like to admit it or not, they're rioters. They're vandalizing these hotels. They're harassing the ICE agents. I mean, these are rioters. These are not protesters.
You can hear that band right now. We've been talking with protesters and Minneapolis residents who have just felt defeated. They tell me they've been heartbroken. They said it's been a really hard few weeks living in this city when they just want ICE agents out of their city. Now, something important to note is we know that President Donald Trump spoke with Governor Walz as well as Mayor Jacob Frey, and I think that was also a big change yesterday when people heard that there were conversations being had with their...
Yeah, Jacob Frey is such a chud. I can't stand Jacob Frey, dude. He's the worst mayor of all time. Tim Walz is the worst governor of all time, and Jacob Frey is the worst mayor.
Leaders here in Minnesota. And then also the police chief, Brian O'Hara, was asked if this could change and maybe change that temperature here in his city. This is what he had to say.
I hope that's what this means. Yeah, absolutely. Nobody in law enforcement is saying federal law enforcement should not be enforcing federal law. That's ridiculous, right? But I don't think it's unreasonable to think that federal law enforcement should operate the same standards and professionalism that the rest of law enforcement in the state does.
I do want to make note, though, the temperature has felt a little bit of a change overnight. There were 24 people arrested. That is coming from the Maple Grove Police Department, which is about 20 minutes away. Allegedly, they were outside protesting what they think is Bovino's hotel, and maybe where some other agents may be staying. We did see videos of people using shovels to knock on signs. We also know that people were heading towards those officers that were trying to block off the entrance of Bovino's hotel. So we do know that some people were arrested, but other than that, it's quiet out here. There's not really anybody out here. I know it is early in the morning, but even yesterday we saw some people coming to pay their respects at this makeshift memorial for Alex Pretti. But I would say that the temperature is definitely cooling down a bit. Holly?
Yeah, it's because people
Megan, we know that several
the reason the temperature is finally cooling down is because people are being held accountable for their actions. These rioters are being arrested as they deserve to be arrested. They were rioting and they were just wreaking havoc in the streets. And yeah, these are not protesters. These are rioters. Rioters. I want to make that very, very, very clear. Rioters.
cases involving the situation are ongoing. Do we know what the status is? Can you hear us, Megan? Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm having a little bit of an IFB issue, but I think, did you ask about the court hearings?
Yes. Let us know what's the latest on those legal cases there.
Yeah, the two major updates came yesterday. I know a lot of people have been expecting some updates on that. I want to read my notes because I know this is important. A federal appeals court refused to reinstate judge's order to put guardrails on how feds can operate around peaceful protesters, meaning this is a win for the Trump administration. Now, originally, the state of Minnesota said that the federal agents were maybe acting out and not doing exactly what they should be doing with the pepper spray and how they were handling these peaceful protesters. But this was a win for the Trump administration yesterday.
DT,
and then another case, Minnesota's request to expel agents from the state. The judge is asking the Trump administration to actually address those issues that the Minnesota attorney.
Get it. They call me witty. P. Diddy.
General brought up. So there's a Wednesday deadline on that. The Trump administration could be responding to that. I know that some people from the Trump administration are expected to be in court. This is to address those issues that the state has brought up, saying that they really don't want these agents here, and they tried to get a judge to order that. We could have something as early as today, but there might not be a decision until Wednesday when that's filed. Holly?
All right, Megan Lee in Minneapolis for us. Megan, thank
you.
Yeah.
Looking for tax help?
Get it, bro.
Now there are TurboTax experts right in your
Get it, my brony brothers, dude. Get it. Oh, yeah. Oh, crap. We got the liberal hive mind. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's your meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. Well, this, my friends, this is exactly what I like to see. And it's what I've been urging over the last couple of days. Do not
Timothy frickin' Walls, man. Let's go.
give in for even a second. Don't back down, as the left-wing propaganda machine is in full gear. Ultimately, it'll be our undoing. And while some people are selling it as, the right political play to make, it's the proper political calculus, it is not. You are simply, in my view, a coward. You're getting cold feet.
Oh, Tim Walls is a wuss, dude. Tim Walls is a total wuss.
You're getting intimidated by the fake outrage and the propaganda. They're trying to scare you into turning on President Trump, turning against the agenda, and doing exactly what they demand, pulling ICE out of Minnesota. And I'd really like to know how that's the proper political calculus.
Yeah, I think ICE needs to remain. Because I think if you pull ICE out of Minnesota, you're letting the libs win. You don't want the liberals to win. You just don't want the libs to win. That's the truth. You don't want them to win, man. No, Tim Walls always looks constipated. It's pretty funny. He is the most constipated looking man I've ever fucking seen in my life. Love you, Tim Walls. I love Tim Walls. He is so great. I love Tim Walz every day. I love Tim Walz. He is so cute. And I love Tim Walz all day. Does it make me totally gay? I love Tim Walz. I love Tim Walz. I love Tim Walz. I love Tim Walz. All right, let's keep watching.
I hear so many people saying, oh, we're going to get sweeped in the midterms if we don't pull ICE out of Minnesota. First of all, Democrats winning in the midterm elections here would be the least surprising outcome. That's literally what is supposed to happen. Historically, that's what happens every time. And this notion that Democrats are steering towards an inevitable blue wave, well, it's just not the reality. It's not the case. They're actually historically in a very weak position in terms of generic ballot advantage. And the idea that if you give in to their bogus narrative that ICE is Gestapo and Donald Trump is terrorizing Minnesota. I mean, if you start pulling back now, you're going to give the Democrats everything they ever wanted. You give them the narrative, but it's a bogus narrative.
Yeah, and you don't want, like Angelo Rose was saying, you don't want to give them an inch because they will take a mile. That's what the Democrats do best, man. You give them even a little bit. You give them an inch, they take a mile, man. That's just the truth. That is the absolute truth on this one, man.
Narrative. Alex Pretti was not murdered by CBP in cold blood as Donald Trump is terrorizing Minnesota with his Gestapo forces. That is objectively not the case. And so politically, you don't give the Democrats what they want. No, you fight like hell. You make valid arguments. You prove your position, and most importantly, you use the leverage of the federal government to expose these Democrats and force them to do the right thing. And luckily, while a lot of these neocon cowards are getting cold feet, once again, they seem willing to cower to the media and the Democrat mob. Well, Donald Trump is holding strong. Donald Trump is doubling down. Instead of backing off, he's instead now sending Tom Homan to take charge of operations in Minnesota. In other words, things just got real. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so exactly like I said, Tom Homan is officially on the ground in Minnesota.
Now, President Trump has deployed border czar Tom Homan on his way to Minnesota right now. And the president made clear in his statement on Truth Social that Homan will report directly to President Trump when it comes to this issue in Minneapolis and Minnesota, I should say.
Hell yeah, get it, dude. Tom Homan.
Absolutely perfect. You need to keep the pressure up. Do not fall for the propaganda, get emotional, get scared. Look at all the push polls that are being released.
Yeah, man, we're tired. Look, we all have Minnesota fatigue. And honestly, I think you need to double. I think you need to have more ICE agents out there. I really do. I think you need more ICE agents out in Minnesota. That's my opinion. You can't just let the mob win. You can't let the lunatic left just determine everything you're going to do. Because nobody wants to listen to these woke people. Who the hell would? Even the woke people don't want to listen to their woke selves, their effeminate voices. And we're tired of being bossed around by woke people. I don't think anybody wants to be bossed around by woke people.
Saying, oh, we need a reverse course immediately. Absolutely not, especially not if you're doing the right thing. And again, I ask what the...
if you guys can, though, tap the like button. The more likes we get, the better. The more it pushes the stream out on the algorithm. So we're trying to get to 100 likes as quickly as we can, so don't forget to tap the like button. It really does help the channel grow. If you have Minnesota fatigue, please tap the like button.
Expectation is here to withdraw ICE, to just give in to the Democrats' psyop, to allow them to continue misinforming the people, to pull out of the state and just allow Democrats to continue on with all their fraud and mass illegal immigration replacement? Never. It cannot happen. And the idea that you would use the midterms as a reason for doing so, that's got to be the most short-sighted thing imaginable. At this point, give the Democrats the midterms. It's not even guaranteed they're going to get a Senate majority. Let's say the current polling outlook, which has Democrats favored to win, ends up materializing, we're looking at possibly them taking over the House. Meanwhile, the Senate remaining highly competitive. What's that going to change? What's that going to do? The obstructionism, the sabotage is going to happen anyways. They're already talking about shutting down the government. Let them do it because they're going to do it anyways. And when it comes to playing these negative optics games and turning everything into an existential threat to humanity, again, they're going to do that anyway.
Yeah, liberals are super hyperbolic about everything. They just think that the world's going to end all the time. We're all screwed, blah, blah, blah. It's so annoying. It gets old after a while. The liberal narrative is everything's fucked all the time. The world's going to end, and the world's going to end, and oh yeah, and the world's going to end.
If Donald Trump pulls ICE, they're going to jump to the next thing, the next humanitarian catastrophe. It's always the same thing with these Democrats. You need to stand firm and you need to push forward.
No, I got rioter fatigue. There's a lot of rioters in Minnesota right now. They're rioting, they're vandalizing, and I've got rioter fatigue. I am so fatigued by the rioters. They're not protesters, they are rioters. Rioters.
Especially,
agitators.
Again, if you're doing the right thing. What Donald Trump needs to do right now is not cower, but rather continue the pressure and force Tim Walz's hand. And funnily enough, that appears to be exactly what's happening. The Trump administration has not indicated whatsoever that they're pulling out here.
Just got a statement from the office of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz about his conversation with President
I love Tim Walz.
Trump that we reported on earlier. The governor's office called it productive, adding, quote, the president agreed that he would talk to the Department of Homeland Security about ensuring the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is able to conduct an independent investigation, as would ordinarily be the case. The president also agreed to look into reducing the number of federal agents in Minnesota and working with the state in a more coordinated fashion on immigration enforcement regarding violent criminals.
No, it appears to the contrary. Donald Trump is putting pressure on Tim Walz to start coordinating with ICE. And again, that is the issue. The issue is not ICE. The issue is not CBP. The issue is Tim Walz and Democrats refusing to coordinate with federal authorities, refusing to release these criminals into federal custody. And Tim Walz, yeah, his excuse is, oh, we've never done that. Oh, we've never done that. He was quoted as saying, there is not a single documented case of the department's releasing.
Yeah, the Democrats are basically the boy who cried wolf. That's the way I see the Democrats, man. I feel like they lie about everything. They over sensationalize everything. They make things seem. The Democrats make things seem worse than they are. That's what I've noticed.
Someone from state prison without offering to ensure a smooth transfer of custody. But this is completely misleading. His prisons are technically honoring ICE detainers by transferring convicted criminal aliens after they serve their sentence. But the cities and the county jails do not. And what ICE wants are the criminal aliens that are arrested for crimes handed to them instead of being released onto the streets. But they're not doing that because they have all the sanctuary city laws. Well, now's time to make him do it. The ICE pressure should continue. And like Donald Trump discussed with Tim Walz, if you want less federal presence in your state, you better start cooperating. Because again, it's actually...
Yeah, because here's the thing. The more Minnesota citizens resist ICE, the more ICE agents are going to be sent out to Minnesota. It's that simple. So I think what Trump should do as a power move is send even more ICE agents out to Minnesota. That's what I think should happen.
Actually not necessary to have all these ICE operations on the street. The only reason it's happening is because you've got a few select areas across the country.
I love how all the woke people think that ICE is like the Gestapo and shit. It's so funny.
That are doing everything in their power to sow chaos. Actually.
Oh, don't forget to tap the like button, though. Tapping the like button does help the channel grow. We're trying to stick it to the left, and so please tap the like button. It really will help us grow out on the algorithm.
I have the perfect breakdown to really put that into perspective. I got this post here from Kevin Bass. He writes, I am horrified. I cannot believe it. I analyzed public databases and media reporting on violent confrontations with ICE over the past year. Just 9 counties accounted for 2/3 of violent confrontations with ICE in America. This is twice all violent confrontations in the remaining 3,134 counties combined.
That's wild,
so you've
man.
got 9 counties that account for more violence and confrontation with ICE than the next 3,100 all combined together. I'll put the graphic here.
That's insane. So top 9 non-cooperating counties is 110. 110 incidences of violent confrontations in non-cooperating. 64 in total for all other counties. That is insane. So it is way more likely that the crazy citizens of Minnesota, it seems. So it seems like Los Angeles, San Fran, Minneapolis. It seems like Minneapolis and Los Angeles seem to be competing for each other to see how many violent situations they can have with ICE. That's funny.
At least here up on screen, just look at it. That wins the argument. The left is on the wrong side. You do not cower in these instances. You push forward. You beat the propaganda. You win on the arguments. You stick to the facts. And you also wait for...
That's not what the left does, though. They destroy. The crazy woke left destroys. That's all there is to it, man. All there is to it.
Emotions to die down. Democrats, of course, are riding on their high as so many people are jumping on the emotional bandwagon, but slowly but surely, as the debate continues to mature on the issue, people are going to start realizing that the Democrat presentation is incorrect. And you know what? Even if it was correct, even if this was an unjustified shooting, the idea that you would again throw the baby out with the bathwater makes no sense. Okay, let's say, for sake of conversation, this was an unjustified shooting. Well, you don't riot on the streets. You don't blame one individual's actions for the entire department. No, you investigate and litigate that particular instance. You ensure the proper legal process is followed. You don't...
Yeah, you try to figure out what the individual did. Just because there's one corrupt individual doesn't mean that you need to condemn the entire organization. However, I can condemn most of these rioters because a lot of them seem to be violent and agitators. Rioters and agitators are all that I see right now in Minnesota. That's all I see. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button if you guys can. If you guys have Minnesota fatigue like I do, because I have a heavy case right now of Minnesota fatigue. I really do. So I'm so sick and tired of Minnesota, man. So sick and tired of Minnesota. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button. It does help the channel grow. Let's keep watching this shit.
Go rioting in the streets. You don't start randomly attacking people. You don't continue these mob assaults on ICE agents. And this whole notion that Donald Trump, the way Donald Trump's doing it, well, that's what's leading to all the death and chaos. But this is complete BS. In fact, despite all the objective terrorism on the streets that we're seeing from the left, these ICE operations are actually extremely clean. And based on certain analysis, even cleaner than the Obama years. Look at this post from Ann Coulter. She writes, John Lott ran the numbers. Here they are in clip and save format. Of 170 U.S. citizens detained by ICE, roughly 130 were arrested for interfering with or assaulting officers, according to the left-leaning ProPublica. That makes Donald...
Oh, Trump actually has a the Trump error rate is far less than the Obama error rate. That is so funny.
Trump's error rate, 0.0067%.
Obama was the deporter in chief, and you guys all love Obama, so I'm surprised you guys don't love Trump too. I thought you guys were the party of deportation. You guys love Obama so much. Jackasses.
Obama's error rate was 0.225%. 3 times the Trump...
Oh, we got ourselves another subscriber. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate everybody who's taken the time to subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. We're trying to see how far we can get on the channel and see what we can pull off, man. So everybody's simple contribution of subscribing really does wonders for the body and the mind.
Error rate. Under Donald Trump, there's been 1 death for every 18,594 detainees. Under Obama, there was 1 death for every 14,314 detainees. Under Trump, the number of American citizens accidentally deported, none, 0. Under Obama, the number of American citizens accidentally deported, 4. Come on. There's no justification for anything the left is claiming. They are lying through their teeth. The problem is not Donald Trump's ICE Gestapo. The problem is the anti-ICE rioting, the chaos, the domestic terrorism, the mob intimidation campaigns that we're seeing that are being enabled by people like Tim Walz. Well, it's time to put a foot down. Because again, as much as Democrats claim that, oh, the American people do not want this, and they keep, shifting the goalpost as if the American people didn't vote for this. No, Donald Trump said he was going to only only go after the criminals, not all illegal aliens. Well, again, that's not true. That's not what he said. Mass deportations are, well, mass deportations. And secondly...
Oh, there are some details. We're going to watch this real quick. There's details about the body cam footage. Let's see.
In Minnesota, President Trump is deploying Border Czar Tom Homan there, while Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino...
ET says he resubscribed. Thank you so much. I appreciate the resubscribe, ET. I don't know why you unsubscribed to begin with, but I appreciate the resubscribe, though, brother. I appreciate the resub. You're the man now, dog. Let's keep going.
Set to leave. The president posting in part this: I am sending Tom Homan to Minnesota tonight. He has not been involved in that area, but knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough but fair and will report directly to me. And joining us now, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Thanks for being here. So I understand Secretary Noem met with the president last night. And the president has signaled he wants a significant pivot in Minneapolis. How is the secretary prepared to help him fully make that pivot?
Yeah, absolutely, Dana. And I think the president and secretary, they've had at-length discussions. I can't get into those specifics, but Secretary Noem will continue to oversee, of course, the Department of Homeland Security.
This is going to get interesting, man. It's going to get interesting. Trump sends the border czar Tom Homan to Minneapolis. Let's go.
And she's very happy that Tom Homan, who is a great asset to the president, has a great depth of experience and insight that he will be overseeing Minneapolis. Secretary Noem has also been overseeing FEMA. She's been living there for 3 days during this storm, as well as U.S. Coast Guard, TSA, Secret Service. So her portfolio is really huge, and she'll continue with CBP and ICE. We've arrested and deported over 700,000 criminal illegal aliens.
Yes, I want to get to that.
2.1 million self-deportations, and she'll continue with that work.
Okay, I do want to play one thing that happened on Saturday. This is at FEMA at a press conference.
ET, I don't know if that's how the algorithm really works, but, I appreciate your efforts either way.
Conference there. Watch.
Let's keep going, man.
The White House has labeled the man who was killed in Minnesota as a domestic terrorist. Is that something you agree with? And have you seen any evidence to
when
back
you
up that
perpetuate
claim?
violence against a government because of ideological reasons and for reasons to resist and perpetuate violence, that is the definition of domestic terrorism. This individual who came with weapons and ammunition to stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic terrorism. That's the facts.
Tricia, is the department and the secretary pulling back that label of domestic terrorist from the Alex Pretti situation?
Dana, in this situation, we have seen on the ground in Minneapolis a highly coordinated campaign of violence against our law enforcement. Your viewers have seen the images. And in this case, we saw an individual who he was armed. He got into a physical altercation with law enforcement. He was in the course of obstructing a federal operation, which is a federal crime. The Department of Homeland Security, we work every day to make sure we're giving the American people swift, accurate information, and so we'll continue to do that as facts are emerging, as things are evolving.
Then are you standing by calling him a domestic terrorist?
Well, we'll let this investigation that Homeland Security investigators are leading, the FBI is supporting, and CBP is doing a separate internal investigation as well, Dana.
Okay, so I guess it stands. Then let me ask you this. Then yesterday there was questions about body cam video during that incident, and have you, I know it's only been about 12 hours since that briefing, but do you have any updated information on whether the department will release that body cam video?
I don't have that information. I have not seen the
I hope that they release the body cam footage. I really do. I think that, look, at releasing the body cam footage would at least give people an idea about what happened. Because if they have body cams on them, it would at least give them an idea what the hell happened. And by the way, I still firmly believe that Alex Pretti was murdered, unfortunately. And it's a sad situation. It really is. And it's a disturbing one at that. So, but yeah, I still believe that, unfortunately, Alex was murdered in cold blood. That's the worst part about this. Yep.
body cam footage myself. I know that there's at least 4 officers who were on the ground during that incident where they were wearing body cams. So I imagine that will be released at some point, but I don't have more information on it. But I do want to say, Dana, that this is an absolute tragedy, and I pray every morning and every night for Alex Pretti and his family. This was completely preventable, and we never want to see a loss of life. And it is a reminder that when you do obstruct lawful operations, especially if you're armed, it's dangerous and it can be deadly. You have the right to practice your first.
Oh, and by the way, I just want to let everybody know I'm still pro-ICE. At the end of the day, I'm still very pro-ICE. But I do believe Alex Pretti was. I believe Alex Pretti was murdered, and the person who murdered him, the agent who murdered him, needs to go to jail and be severely disciplined for what he did. Other than that, I mean, I'm still pro-ICE. I think ICE needs to be in Minnesota. In fact, if anything, I think they need to double. They need to double the ICE agents. That's what needs to happen. I just, here's the thing. My belief system is this: you gotta give these ICE officers stun weapons. They need to only be able to use stun weapons, and that should be the extent of what they're able to utilize during these confrontations. That's my belief, at least. That's my belief in this scenario.
Amendment, of course,
overall,
and your Second Amendment rights, but do so responsibly and without breaking federal law.
Let's go.
Thank you for that. I want to ask you about this too, because I think the American people are frustrated in terms of all the different types of information. Nobody trusts anybody, etc. But it does seem like.
But there's definitely a fatigue going on. You know, I mean, there's definitely what's that fatigue called? There's Minnesota fatigue. There's Tim Walz fatigue. You know, people are just done. People are checked out. They've got fatigue. I love Tim Walz. He's really cool. I love Tim Walz. It's true. Tim Walz is the frickin' man. I love Tim Walz. I love Tim Walz. I love Tim Walz. I love Tim Walz. No, E.T., I'm not doing that face, bro. I'm not doing that face, and I never promised any of that. Why would I promise that? I'm not doing that face. I refuse to do that face.
That all of us should be able to agree on numbers. And last week, you told our show that there were 1,300 illegal immigrants in Minnesota jails or Minneapolis jails. So Governor Walz, Tim Walz, he writes in the Wall Street Journal today that, I'm going to quote it here for you because I want you to respond to this and we can maybe figure out what's going on with the numbers. Some of the administration's claims are ridiculous on their face, he writes. And he says, for example,
I never promised that, E.T. I did not promise that, my brony brother. You know it. I know it. The American people know it. I didn't promise.
It claims that 1,360 non-U.S. citizens are in Minnesota prisons. The truth, our total state prison population is roughly 8,000, and only 207 of them are non-citizens. Is he conflating and splitting hairs at the same time of city and county jails along with state prisons? Is that how you understand it? Is that how you get to your number?
Yes, my understanding is he's being
really
a little bit misleading
cool.
here, or a lot misleading by saying that
I
those
love Tim Walz.
1,360
It's
criminal illegal
true.
aliens are not sitting in the county and city jails, which is exactly where they are. We know that last year, under Walz's leadership, that those...
He always looks so panicked. I think the reason that Tim Walz always looks panicked, by the way, is because he knows what he's doing is wrong. It's the most panicked-looking face I've ever seen.
City and county jails released 470 criminal illegal aliens. So again, what the president, what Secretary Noem have been asking for is that level of cooperation before they release a criminal illegal alien onto the streets, to give us notification so that we can come and pick them up and they're not going back onto the street to re-perpetuate crimes against Americans. And secondly, when we are seeing rioters, we're seeing things spiral out of control, assaults, obstruction of law enforcement, which is federal crime, as we've mentioned before, that those state and local governments and law enforcement are allowed to answer our calls for backup so no one gets hurt.
I know that also you put out a message yesterday. We won't play it here just for time, but there was an audio threat against ICE, and that you say that there are more than 8,000, that threats against officers have gone up 8,000%. Do you believe that with President Trump taking this action by sending Tom Homan to Minneapolis, that there will be a way to calm that down so that when ICE goes to other places, this will hopefully calm down?
Yes, I mean, I think that the president's conversation with Tim Walz yesterday sounded like it was encouraging.
Hopefully Tim Walz works with President Trump. We don't know if that's really going to happen. I have my doubts about it. All right, so we're going to watch a little more riot footage, and then we'll probably interesting. So they used a sound cannon. Way.
Officers were detained after making a lot of noise outside of this hotel where they believed the Border Patrol commander was staying. And something troopers threatened to use to clear the crowd made a lot of ears perk up. Something called a long-range acoustic device, or LRAD.
Yeah. Makes it hard on their ears. Yes.
Here's what our Derek James found out about it.
I hereby declare this an unlawful assembly. A powerful sound system first used by the military was in action Monday night in Maple Grove to communicate and disperse noisy protesters. What is an LRAD and how does it work?
Well, an LRAD is like a loudspeaker, but it focuses the sound in a narrow cone so that if you're inside the cone, it's extremely loud.
Retired Marine Colonel Mark Kansian is a senior advisor for the Center for Strategic and International Studies. The Minnesota State Patrol says it has had an LRAD since 2013 and uses it to make sure entire groups can hear when an event is declared unlawful and they have been told to disperse. During the Maple Grove protest, State Patrol says officers checked the volume, issued dispersal notices, and did not use tones or sirens, despite what has been reported on social media.
Okay, so they didn't use any tones.
When it's cranked up, Kansian says it can be overwhelming.
We used it in Iraq when I was with the Marines. We tested it on the staff, gave us the demonstration. If you're in the cone, it sounds like the voice of God is speaking to you.
LRADs can project spoken commands at intense volumes or emit
That's crazy, man. Intense volumes, that's wild.
a loud, piercing tone designed to get attention and deter movement. But Kansian says even spoken commands can have a powerful effect.
I think we saw that in the videotapes there of the...
I love Tim Walz. He's really cute. I love Tim Walz, it's true. I think Tim Walz is the greatest of all time. And I know you think so too. Tim Walz really loves you too. We all love Tim Walz. We all love Tim Walz. We all love Tim Walz. I love Tim Walz. He is the man. I love Tim Walz, it's true.
System, because it's so loud. I mean, it pushes you back.
The system was designed as a less lethal option to pepper spray, tear gas, and rubber bullets.
In some situations where you might end up using force, kinetic force, or even lethal force, this can avoid that and avoid, permanent damage to people.
Derek James, WCCO News.
LRADs can be used as a sonic weapon and at full volume could cause pain, nausea, or hearing damage. As for the protest last night, police say that they arrested 26 people for unlawful assembly and misdemeanor riot charges.
At Ancestry, we believe every question about the
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, man. Oh, more chaos erupts. Oh, Minnesota. Yep, they're still going crazy. They're still going crazy in Minneapolis. Of course they are. Makes perfect sense to me, man. I love Tim Walz, it's true. I'm half undressed. I'm eating chips off my chest. And I love Tim Walz so much. I just want it in my blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. I want Tim Walz. He's really cool. I want Tim Walz, it's true. I think he's the man. And we all know it too. And everything is cool. I am woke AF, my dudes. Please subscribe to. Please subscribe to. Please subscribe to the channel. I love Tim Walz. He's really cool. I love Tim Walz, it's true. We all love Tim Walz. And we think about him all day. And we love Tim Walz so much. 'Cause we want it in the
The Canada-Russia final showcasing the two most talked about prospects in the world.
I think if you talk to some of your local media here with you, they'll tell you the same. This is rather unique for us in terms of being the first critical incident team that uses all agencies in the Valley to work together. So with that, I'm going to let Mr. Yankee come up, give a few remarks, and then from there, we'll take your questions.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good afternoon.
Well, honestly, I'm a little tired. I'm not really feeling it right now. But I'll tell you what we'll do. A little bit later tonight, we'll probably end up doing this. We'll probably end up being gay. All right, you guys. It's time to stay sexy. It's time to stay steady. And I love Tim Walls. But yeah, we're going to end the stream for the night. Make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we have, the better. It does help the channel grow. Tap the like button. Tap the subscribe button. It really does wonders for the body, and it does wonders for the mind. So the more subscribers we have, the more simp-scribers we could truly have. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to subscribe to the channel. And, yeah. Hope you all have an incredible rest of the day. Bye.